Good morning, everyone. Hopefully everyone can find a seat. There should still be plenty of seating over on the side over here. A few scattered seats throughout. So to start off our ceremony, please rise for the national anthem. Good morning, students, families, friends, faculty, staff, guests, anyone that's here. Those of you online streaming this, welcome as well. I know with the weather we had, some people were not able to come in. Thank you. Those of you who had to brave some of the elements. Fortunately, here in Houston, we didn't get any of the ice or snow, but I know some of you came from regions that might have caused you some difficulty getting here. So we appreciate the effort that you made to get here. Your students appreciate the efforts that you made to get here. This is always one of our landmark events each year, one of our favorite things. It's a progression in these students to this point. Some schools, we were one of them, did white coat in the first year. We have now since moved this to a second-year event, and I personally believe it's really the best thing that we do because the students all know each other. They can introduce you to their friends, and that you get to meet people that you've heard them talk about. When we used to do it during orientation in first year, first week, we would be at white coat and somebody's name would get announced. It would be kind of the golf clap. Yeah, nobody knew who the other people were. Now you're going to hear a lot of noise, a lot of hollering, a lot of cheering, which makes this event so much fun. It also serves as somewhat of an intro into clinic, because they're starting their clinical year of being able to see patients at this point. So it's a big landmark for them, appropriate that they get that white coat at this point in the process. You're gonna hear us talk more about the white coat, its importance, what it represents, what it means as we go along. So I have a few initial comments, and then I'm gonna turn it over to some other people much more distinguished and important than I am. So I didn't introduce myself, which I'm always bad about doing. I'm Dr. Robert Spears. I'm the Associate Dean for Student and Academic Affairs here at the school. I get the distinct pleasure of kind of hosting this event, calling out the names, which I take that honor very seriously and take great pride in being able to do that. As you can imagine, events such as this doesn't happen because I decide, oh, let's magically wave a wand and it happens. A lot of people, their efforts, make this something that comes to fruition. So at first I want to recognize the Office of Student and Academic Affairs. You've seen them probably roaming around, all of them wearing orange shirts of some sort. Who all do I have anybody in the room right in the back of the room? I see a couple of people. So Grace, and wave hello to everybody. Everybody wave hello to them. They're the ones who do all the work on this. They just asked me to be the pretty face that comes up on the stage. Yeah, that should have elicited a lot of chuckles or whatever. Obviously, that is not the case whatsoever, but we couldn't have this happen without their help. and put a lot of effort into this. Our Dean, John Valenza, is going to come up in a few minutes and recognize some other individuals, some other groups, so I'll leave that to him as well. But let's move on. So, you know, in white coat ceremony, I mentioned this is a time where we really emphasize the ethics, the professionalism, and all that represents moving on in their clinical years at the school. They've endured a year and a half of, I'm sure they've told you, sometimes wonderfulness, sometimes maybe some not so wonderfulness, but it's a path, it's a journey. And I think if you ask all of them, are you glad that you made this decision? Is this the pathway for you? They're all going to answer yes to that it does represent what they want to become, that healthcare professional who takes care of people. You know, Dr. Ralph Cooley, who you'll meet in a minute, and I go back a long way with several of these people, all the way back in the admissions process, some of them even before admissions. Yeah, and I also have to kind of tell on myself or whatever. I've reached that point in my career where I'm now educating the children of people that I taught in dental school. I'm getting old, aren't I? Yeah. But it's a great thing to see that profession because dentistry really is a family. And so many dentists are so proud to pass that on to their children, and it's a great privilege that we have to be able to educate children of dentists that have come through our profession. So I could keep on talking. I don't want to be that way. I would rather introduce to you the dean of our school, Dr. John Valenza. Dr. Valenza is an alumnus of our school. I can think of very few dental schools that have ever had an alum who serves as their dean, but he has served in many roles at our school. He's been dean now for multiple years. He's one of the longest running deans in the country. And if you want to know what embodies UTSD, it's the man about to speak to you. Dr. Valenza.
Thank you, Dr. Spears, and thank you all for something more than the golf clap. I like that, though. Well, good morning. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration of the School of Dentistry, it's my sincere pleasure to welcome everybody present here and online to our annual white coat ceremony. Special thanks to sponsors of today's event, as noted on the back of your program. The UTSD PACE Center, the UTSD Alumni Association, the Houston Academy of General Dentistry, and the Houston Asian American Dental Society. I'd also like to recognize some special guests who are joining us today, and if you'd please stand as I call your name, and audience, if you'd hold your applause until the end. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Roger Macias, who will be formally introduced in just a moment. From the UTSD Alumni Association, President and member of the class of 1985, Dr. Keely Hunsaker, and the Executive Director, Ms. Tricia Fullerton. Tricia may not be in the room. From the Houston Academy of General Dentistry, President, as of just this week, Dr. Shady Bashai, UTSD Assistant Professor and past President of the Houston Asian American Dental Society, Dr. Don Lee, whose daughter Allison will be receiving her white coat today. Longtime speaker at this event and now featured speaker at orientation for incoming students, Dr. Kenneth Horowitz, class of 1961. And Dr. Jerry Long, Director of Practice Consulting at UTSD, and class of 1966. Don't know if Jerry's here. Okay. And finally, I'd like to recognize all dentists, dental hygienists, and other dental professionals and educators in the audience who are with us today, whether faculty, friends, or family members, if you would also please stand. Thank you all for being here and all that you do for our school. So, why are we here today? Why do we and other healthcare professions conduct a white coat ceremony? If you were to ask a patient or someone on the street to indicate what symbols of healthcare professions stand out to them, they would probably mention coats or scrubs or uniforms of some nature. The white coat is certainly one of the most recognizable. Our coats carry a message to our patients that here is a healthcare professional who is going to help me. It implies someone who possesses great skill or experience, has high standards and behaves in a professional manner, will put the needs of others before their own, and is committed to lifelong teaching, learning, and service. Historically, the white coat is an outcome of initiatives started by two physicians who wanted to influence standards of professionalism, humanism, and behavior of students while attending medical school. So in 1993, they established a process for the ceremony that we and so many other health profession schools follow today. For us, today is our 26th white coat ceremony. So let me say to you, class of 2027, that donning your white coats today is more than just a symbol. It is a pledge. It is a commitment, a responsibility to serve humanity, and to be professional at all times, in all places, whether that be in person, online, or otherwise. And there's plenty of otherwise out there today. I know that as you now formally begin the clinical process of your education, you will place your patients first, work together, celebrate your diversity, be involved, and stay connected. And hopefully that you will always strive for what we here at UTSD hold so close, our vision for ourselves and our patients. And you all know our vision statement, right? Which is? I didn't coach them on that, folks. But improving oral health, improving overall health. So it's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for today, Dr. C. Roger Macias. A native of San Antonio, Texas, Dr. Macias completed his dental education at the other UTHealth School of Dentistry in San Antonio in 1983. While establishing his private practice, he also served as assistant professor at his alma mater. A great love of sports drove Dr. Macias to become involved with sports dentistry, having served as a team dentist for the San Antonio Spurs. He's also dentist for the San Antonio Rampage, I love that name, the WNBA San Antonio Silver Stars, the San Antonio Missions Baseball Club, as well as numerous college, universities, and high schools in South Texas. In his practice, Dr. Macias offers comprehensive aesthetic and restorative dentistry, but he also has a great interest in the treatment of temporomandibular joint disorders and sleep apnea. He's active in numerous dental study clubs and is currently a faculty professor at the world-renowned L.D. Pankey Institute. Among Dr. Macias' many accolades and awards, he's a fellow of the American and International College of Dentists, as well as the Pierre Fauchard Academy. In 2020, he received the prestigious Texas Dentist of the Year Award from the Texas Academy of General Dentistry, and also that same year, the inaugural Distinguished Alumnus Award given by his dental school alma mater. We're so pleased that he's with us today. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Roger Macias.
Siri, set timer for 2 hours.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not really. Dr. Valenza, Dr. Spears, faculty, staff, moms and dads, and my future colleagues and friends. What a pleasure it is to be here. You know, Dr. Valenza, I spoke last year at this, and he called and said, "Would you speak again?" And I was like, they're going to have heard what I said. And he goes, totally new crowd. So I'm glad to be here again. In fact, but I've tweaked my talk a little bit. Last year, one of the guys asked me after I was leaving out, one of the dads said, "Would you run for president?" And I was like, "No, I'm not interested, nor taking any advice on that." So I am with the American College of Dentists. I'm editor of the Texas section of the American College of Dentists, and I followed in the footsteps of a great mentor of the editor of the Texas Academy of American College of Dentists, Dr. Valenza. So he actually gave me all of these CDs and said, "Here, these are yours. Go make a newsletter." So it's good to be here with all of you. And just to see, when you walked in, I was just admiring the faces and the smiles, and you could just tell how genuine excitement there is for all of you. And then so many of my friends that are here today, some of my colleagues, some of my classmates, and it's just great to be here with all of you today. So the white coat as you have in your laps there, it symbolizes, as Dr. Valenza said, professionalism, caring, and trust, which we must not just have, but which we must earn from our patients and our colleagues. Back in the dark ages, as it was known when I was a dental student, there were no ceremonies such as a white coat ceremony. We didn't have it. It didn't exist, like Dr. Valenza said, in 1993. I wish we had had it. We had blue coats, and I just don't know. It just didn't feel the same, you know? But we all have heard of white coat syndrome, right? And, you know, all patients come in. I actually have white coat syndrome. I have normal blood pressure until I go and I see somebody with a white coat. And it's crazy how that happens, but the way you bestow that white coat is what's most important. I have been a dentist, and I can't believe it. I've been a dentist now for almost 42 years. I know I look 42, I know, but I was a prodigy. I started when I was 6. It was crazy. But this is a tremendous profession, which just seems has gone. 42 years feels like 42 minutes. It's gone by in the beat of a heart. It's crazy. But those 42 years have been synonymous with 3 words: professionalism, caring, and trust. But the 3 most important words to me is ethics, hard work, and gratitude. So the famous poet Maya Angelou, who I'm sure many of you have heard her poetry, is beautiful. She said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And so I hope what I say to you today will make you feel proud to be members of this beautiful profession of dentistry. This is accomplished, as I said, through ethics, hard work, and gratitude. So ethics is the mantra that many of the fellows in the American College of Dentists, of which myself and Dr. Valenza and many of your faculty members here are members of, is the framework of the profession that you have chosen. So ethics is that moral principle that governs the behavior when conducting an activity. And to be more precise, it's how you behave when somebody is observing you. But more important, how you behave when no one is observing you. Ethics forms the bedrock of our actions, defining the principles that guide our conduct and our interactions with each other. It's the compass that steers us towards making choices that resonate fairness, honesty, and integrity. Fairness, honesty, and integrity. You will encounter many ethical situations in your journey here at the dental school and as your profession in dentistry. You know, when I was teaching at the dental school, I had a dental student came up to me. I was doing crown and bridge, and he brought me his gold casting. Back then, we actually made, I don't know if they're still doing it, we actually made our own crowns. And he came in, and he had a crown, and around the edges, it had silver. It looked silver. And I was like, "How did that happen?" And he goes, "I don't know." I said, "You don't know?" And he goes, "It just came out that way." And I was like, "No." And then it dawned on me, when he cast his crown, it formed a bunch of voids in it. And so he took silver amalgam and plugged up the holes. You guys are laughing because y'all know what that means. So when you have two dissimilar metals in an environment of acidity, what does that cause? Galvanic reaction, right? And corrosion. And so I said, did you put silver in this? And he goes, I did. I'm sorry. I said, you know, that's a beautiful crown you did. The waxing was beautiful. It was perfect. The edges fit perfect. But the fact that you put silver in something like this without coming to one of us to say, how can we remedy this? That is malpractice. That is not correct. And in the real world, when you get out there, that could be devastating. And in the real world of dentistry, in this dental school, you just failed that crown. And I hated to do that because I wanted it to be a teaching moment. But those are the ethical dilemmas that you might get, or with a patient that might have a situation that you look at them as a means to an end rather than a human being that's attached to those teeth. Just remember, and I use this a lot because I see a lot of commercials on TV nowadays for if you got 2 or more teeth that are bad, call us and we can replace all your teeth with implants. I'm like, really? 2 or more teeth? That's it? Everybody has 2 or more teeth that are problematic, you know? And you're going to replace them all with implants? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Hard work. You all are examples of what hard work is. Having been in your shoes, although much older shoes, I know what it takes to study and study and study and then test and test and test and then sometimes fail and fail and fail, but eventually succeed and succeed and succeed. Hard work is dedication and commitment, the will to improve and to persevere. And the difference between commitment and involvement in your dental class is like a bacon and egg breakfast. The chicken was involved, but the pig was committed. Hard work. Hard work is the catalyst that changes dreams into reality and ambitions into achievements. And through a little perspiration, aspirations into inspirations. I can vividly remember one day I got up. I had to be at school early to get some lab work done before the day. And I remember driving to the dental school and it was completely dark. And I was there all day doing my class work, and then we had labs, and then we went and they had a little breakfast, not like a lunchroom, and I got something, a quick sandwich to eat. And then I went to study in the library, and then I got out of the library, closed at midnight, and I left to go home. And I walked out of the building of the dental school, and I thought to myself, I never saw the sun today. I never saw sunlight. It was just complete artificial light for the whole day. That's hard work. That's hard work. Hard work sometimes meaning feeling fruitless, lonely, and frustrating. But these are tough feelings. And I recommend that you, as Dr. Spears said, reach out to your classmates and faculty to help you along the way. Because when they help you, I guarantee you're helping them. Gratitude. Gratitude is the profound acknowledgement of the kindness and support extended to each of us. It stands as a light leading our path. It fosters humility. It reminds us of the countless hands that have supported us on our journey, be it family and friends and mentors and unsung heroes, all that we encounter on our daily life. You will encounter, as you already have, many new faces and friends along the path to become a dentist. But you must remember, you had others support you along the way. Your closest friends will be the ones that you hang out with your dental school career. And then you will meet patients along the way that will trust you with that white coat, with their treatment, and in turn, to help you to graduate as a dentist. One of the giants that Dr. Valenza alluded to, where I teach in Florida, the Pankey Institute, he said, I never saw a tooth walk into my office. It was also always attached to a human being. I was privileged to give a talk at the annual Pankey Symposium in Scottsdale, Arizona, and that was my subject. I never saw a tooth walk into my office. And what I did is I gave 42 years of examples of cases that I had documented of the people attached to the tooth. So what I did, I would show the face, I would zoom in on the tooth, and then I would say, this person here did not want me to touch their mouth because they had been sexually abused over the years. This person, Rosa, I can tell you Rosa, she was a beautiful lady. She had one tooth left, all denture except for one tooth. And it finally came to the point that it was so mobile, I had no choice but to remove it. It was infected. And I said, Rosa, we're going to have to lose this tooth. And she just started crying and holding my hands. And then I was just there with her, accompanying her. That one tooth is connected to her. She was so grieving that she was going to lose that tooth. It came in when she was probably around 6 years old. And she was in her 90s. And she held my hand and she just caressed it and she said, you have the smoothest hands. And that bond, we connected and the grief went away and we took care of her. And I remember when I was in dental school and the people that we cared for, Mr. Jesus Cervantes, who's passed away, I was getting ready to give my first anesthetic, my first mandibular block. And he goes, so doc, have you done this before? And I said, yes, many times. Okay, so I had to go to confession on that one, so. But please don't forget those at home that you may not see often. It's difficult. Your wife, your husband, your friends, your priest, your minister, those that cared for you along this journey. And today, whenever you get a moment, pick up the phone or text them. And when I say that, I mean, who are your parachute packers? And I told a story last year of a man by the name of Charlie Plum. Some of you may have heard of him. Charlie Plum was a captain and a pilot in the U.S. Navy during Vietnam. And he has a book called I'm No Hero, amazing book to read. He was 5 days from getting out of the military, Navy pilot, and he was going to go on to fly commercially for Eastern Airlines. And there was a sortie, and there was one of the pilots was not feeling well. He says, it's over non-hostile territory. I'll take your flight. So he took it, and he was shot down. And he spent the next 2,013 days as a prisoner in an 8-foot by 8-foot cell. He was tortured, starved, berated daily until finally he and his fellow prisoners were released at the end of the war, 2,013 days later. So he was at dinner one night, and this man came up to him and says, hey, you're Plum, aren't you? And he goes, excuse me? He goes, you're Charlie Plum. You were the pilot on the USS Kitty Hawk, right? And he goes, yeah. He goes, how do you know me? He goes, oh, I packed your parachute. I guess it worked. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, I was down there. I would make all the folds in the parachutes, and I guess it worked. Just wanted to say hi. Good to see you. So Charlie Plum was like, I've never met this man. He was probably in the bowels of this aircraft carrier, folding day to day these folds and parachutes, and he saved my life. Because had his folds not been correct, I would have not made it. And I'm here even though I suffered for 2,013 days. And so Charlie Plum has made a life out of these difficult challenges. And he talks about the parachutes of your spiritual, emotional, and physical things. And I think of those that packed my parachute. My mom, my dad, my sister, my friends, my grandmother. Those that came from Mexico ahead of me to bring me to the United States so that I could succeed as a dentist in this beautiful country that we live in. And so think of your parachute packers, your family, your spouse, your children, your fellow students, your faculty, the dental school team, you name them. It's gratitude. It's the gratitude that we encounter and who we encounter daily that will lead us not to just the words on the next page. Drill 'em, fill 'em, bill 'em. Okay, so it's 3 words. I had a t-shirt that said that. It said drill 'em, fill 'em, bill 'em. I thought it was really good at the time. Now I think, wow, that was terrible. But how we continue to change and improve our profession. There was no composite when I was in dental school. There was no scanner when I was in dental school. There was nothing printed. There was no such thing as a cell phone. We had this one that you had to go. Some of you all know that one. So let's strive for success, not just in the endeavors that we have here, but in the profound impact that all of you here, proud of your children, your spouse, your brother, your sister that are here that are going to make an impact on the rest of our profession in the future of dentistry. I've heard it said that embracing ethics is our guiding principle. Embracing hard work is the vehicle to achieve our aspirations while lifting others up. And embrace gratitude as our constant companion. So I leave you today with 2 questions. See, it's shorter than 2 hours. Who packs your parachute? Who packs your parachute? And whose parachute do you pack? And my friends, my colleagues, welcome to the greatest profession in the world, the profession of dentistry. Congratulations. Dr. Spears said I have 1 hour and 45 minutes still.
Yeah. So we just want to thank Dr. Macias. We have a gift for you, token of our appreciation. So thank you, Dr. Macias.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. You got it. Great event, right? So, class, I'm going to challenge you. The words from Dr. Valenza, the words from Dr. Macias. Remember some of these things, okay? They were all important, but a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, what will you remember from your white coat ceremony, right? Take some of these things to heart. You know, you hear us talk all the time about the ethics, the professionalism, the integrity. Remember these words. They'll follow you everywhere, and they're going to be very valuable in what you do going forward. All right, how about we go forward and let's start doing white coat. You ready for it? All right, so I'm going to ask our first coders to come to the stage, Drs. Hunsaker and Hunsaker. Sounds like a law firm, doesn't it? And class of 2027, will you please come forward? All right, Angela Ann Abraham. And yes, I didn't mention before this, make as much noise as you want to make. Let them know you're here. Let them know they're valued and appreciated. Ayushi Agarwal. Nicole Akukuro. Congratulations. Families, that's going to be hard to beat, I'm going to tell you.
Congrats.
Madison Algie, excuse me. Jeremy Alvarez. Kelly Askew. I love you too, Dr. Askew. Dina Awad.
Get Drs. Gino and Dean headed this way.
Hania Bashir.
You're coming up next.
Our next coders will be Drs. Gino and Din. John Beck. Bridget Ann Bedore.
Congrats, John.
Hakeem Bombada. Hakeem might get the award for the snazziest shoes up here.
Congrats.
Peyton Kane. Ooh, whoa. Those of you might wonder about that. Peyton is the class president for the second year class, and I think that demonstrates the respect that the class has for Peyton. Kevin Chan. Congrats. Matilda Dow. Congrats. Lourdes Ashley Den. Hey, I need Barros and O'Keefe coming up. Our next coders will be Drs. Barros and O'Keefe. Stand on the black tape. Mena Mohammed Isa. Emily Aaron Epperson. Casey Foss McManus. Lean Fardoon. Congrats, Casey. Garza. Garrett and Garza. I need two. Caitlin Nicole Fisher. Okay. Our next coders will be Drs. Garrett and Garza. Thank you, thank you. Pardon? Yeah, go ahead. The two of you together. Next up, Reed Garrett. Reed will be coded by his father, Dr. Jathan Garrett. Oh. One thing you will see today is how dentistry is such a family profession. We have multiple students today coded by family members.
Congrats, Reed.
Anthony Garza. Anthony is being coded by his father, Dr. Anthony Garza. Stay there. Mariella Gaitan. Gianna Jacamel. Sydney Ray Gibson. Gillespie's and Gideon's. All right, our next coders will be Doctors Giddings and then the second law firm, Gillespie and Gillespie. John Clark Giddings. John Clark will be coded by his father, Dr. Clark Giddings. Lauren Grace Gillespie. Lauren is going to be coded by her parents, Dr. Elizabeth and Jason Gillespie. And in the audience, Dr. Dan Ferriman, graduate of our dental school's class of 1964. Yes, you got a health coat. So just for everyone's knowledge, I taught both Jason and Elizabeth in dental school, and you kind of see how it was in dental school times. Elizabeth was spot on, hardworking, dedicated. Jason, oh my goodness. He knows that comes out of love. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, y'all get off the stage. Our next coders will be Dr. Rude and Harmon. A lot of family coders today to keep track of. Carrie Elizabeth Gilliland. Carrie is being coded by her aunt, Dr. Karen Rude. Joelle Beth Goldman. Annalee Grace Guilford. Tyler Allen Harmon. Tyler is being coded by his father, Dr. Todd Harmon. Dr. Fry. Our next coders will be Drs. Gusamano and Fry. Just stand right over there. Dr. Fry will help you out. Shelley Lynn Harper. Madison Haley Henderson. Madison will be coded by her grandfather, Dr. Frank Gusamano. Jesse Huang. Alan Hugh. One more and then y'all come up. Sydney Hughes and then y'all come up. Sydney Deshay Hughes. Our next set of coders will be Drs. Mai Tran Nguyen and Dr. Shelley Patel. Melik Ismail. Iman Jundali. Tyler Gregory Johnson. All right. Yeah. This was not intentional. It's how it fell out. It just shows you in dentistry, anything is possible. Jesnur Kaur.
Congrats, Tyler.
Caitlin Ashley Kennedy. Ethan Patrick Karam. Ashley Lauren King. Caitlin Elizabeth Krebs. Our next coders will be Doctors Law and Lee. Trisha Min Law. Trisha is being coded by her father, Dr. Took Law. Natalie Marie Lacey. Michael James Landavazo. We got a few more until then. Congrats. Allison Rachel Lee. Oh, this is another apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Dr. Don Lee up there and I go back a long ways. I taught Dr. Lee in dental school, maybe just a couple years ago, but wonderful family. Congratulations. Katie Lee. Erin Michelle Lee. Jae Young Lee. All right, our next coders will be Dr. Sung and Tracy Nguyen. Kay Lee. Kay will be coded by her husband, Dr. Richard Sung. Moise Rahman Malik. John Adel Mansour. Roshan Matthew. Deep Modi. Sherry Lynn Moore. Hedye Mosafa. Stand, move up a little. Scoot up onto the platform. Madison Jewel Mosley. On to no. Angela Min Nguyen. Angela is being coded by her aunt, Dr. Tracy Nguyen. Our next coders will be doctors, I'm getting ahead of myself, will be Doctors Palmer and Cooley. Sean Nguyen. Lauren Ullman. Congrats, Sean. Thank you. Victoria Akonlawan. Haley Paige Palmer. Haley is coded by her father, Dr. David Palmer. What, y'all getting jaded now? You've seen a lot of people come up coding their sibling. You're not going to hoot and holler on that one? Come on. Ishika Patel. Jay Patel. Jason Niraj Patel. Get Doctors Fry and Chandler headed this way. Wen Vu Pham. Our next coders will be Doctors Pruitt and Fry. Jackson Phillips. Ryan Scott Pickleman. Holly Janae Pearson. Rachel Porter Hamilton. Sterling Windsor Caroline Pruitt. Sterling is being coated by her sister, Dr. Chandler Pruitt. And I can tell you, I have had the privilege now of being involved with White Coat for 3 of the Pruitts. They swear there's no more, but I'm working on it, Getting that 4th one up here. Congrats. Miguel Efren Ramirez. Solomon Razak. Congrats. Puria Razinovact.
Steve.
Okay. Our next coders will be Drs. Phillips and Lehman. Brianna Lynn Riley. Brianna is being coated by her grandfather, Dr. John Phillips. Congrats. Olivia Danielle Richburg. Keaton Patrick Rousseau. Zoya Baber Syed. Naomi Sugjeth Samuel.
It's been a loud ceremony.
Seth Sarkis. Brandon Allen Scott. Rayas Shinavari.
Horowitz and Pearson. Horowitz and Pearson, coders. Kenny.
Our next coders will be Drs. Horowitz and Pearson.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir.
Hamza Siddiqui.
Gotta make the old part coding.
Celie Madeline Smith. Colin Bright Smith. David Kendall Smith. Ryan Steer.
Congrats.
Catherine Lemarier Swigert. Abigail Grace Thomas. Get Phil. Pierpont and Tran. Morgan Alexis Thomas. Our next coders will be Doctors Tran and Pierpont. Thanks, guys. Timothy Tran. Vivian Tweevenock Tran. Vivian is being coded by her cousin, Dr. Juliette Tran. All right. That's got to win some kind of award somehow. Isabella Tren. Ellie Trong. Kylie Shane Updike.
Congratulations. Congrats.
Sana Sadek Usman. Ty William Van. Congratulations. All right. Our next coders will be Doctors Valenza and Macias. Mauricio Vasquez. Olivia Nicole Vega. Lauren Elizabeth Whiteley. Gary Wishcamper. Shin Yuen Yu. Ulema Zamora. Congratulations. Just let her go across so we can get it really quick. Ulema, just go over here and go back. All right, at this time, I would like to ask Dr. Keely Hunsaker, President, UTSD Alumni Association, to come up and help us with the Dentist Pledge.
I'll leave it there for you.
Thank you, thank you. Well, congratulations, class of 2026. This has been a major milestone. And so as your journey continues towards your goal of becoming a dentist, I just want you to remember two things. Always do two things. Always give back to the profession of dentistry, and always be a member of your alumni association, the greatest alumni association. I hope and pray that all of you can enjoy dentistry as much as this group of dentists right here does, always. Okay, so if you'll take out your program and look on the back, we're going to read the Dentist Pledge together. I'll give you, stand while we do this.
Ask any dentist in the audience to stand as well.
And any dentist in the audience, please stand as well. Or dental student? Okay. All right, here we go. I, as a member of the dental profession, shall keep this pledge and these stipulations. I understand and accept that my primary responsibility is to my patients. And I shall dedicate myself to render to the best of my ability the highest standard of oral health care and to maintain a relationship of respect and confidence. Therefore, let all come to me safe in the knowledge that their total health and well-being are my first considerations. I shall accept the responsibility that as a professional, my competence rests on continuing the attainment of knowledge and skill in the arts and sciences of dentistry. I acknowledge that my obligation to support and sustain the honesty and the honor and integrity of the profession and to conduct myself in all endeavors such as I shall merit the respect of my patients. I further commit myself to the betterment of my community for the benefit of all society. I shall faithfully observe the principles of ethics and code of professional conduct set forth by the profession. All this I pledge with pride in my commitment to the profession and the public it serves. God bless University of Texas School of Dentistry, and God bless Texas. Thank you.
You may be seated. Thank you. Class of 2027, let's think back to orientation, our first week or so there at the school, and what have I said to you every day since that time? See you in the hallway. What do I ask you? Are we making progress towards that DDS? Are you making progress? This is a big step in that progress today. Congratulations on this honor. You've worked hard to get here to this point, but we don't rest at this point. Much is expected of you. You've made a commitment to the profession here in front of your friends, family, faculty. You have quoted that pledge, and hopefully you recognize what that pledge means. All right? Professional, ethical. I ask all the time at these sort of events, what kind of dentist will you become? What will you be when you graduate and get out there? Will you remember the words that you've heard today? Will you remember the words that you've pledged to everyone? What will you be, not just today, tomorrow? Dr. Macias was mentioned. Macias, sorry, two people. When no one's watching, what will you be? It's easy to be ethical in front of this group, easy to be professional. What will you be when it's not the easiest thing to do? Much is expected of you, and we know we've entrusted you to be that ethical, honest, integral, all those things. And we're going to be excited to see your journey going forward. Okay, this is going to conclude our ceremony. Friends, family, and everybody, please remain seated. We are taking the class out to go do the class photo in their white coats, and they'll be right back to be able to meet you, take photos, pictures. This will be open for you. Hang around, take all the photos and things you want. Meet the families, meet the students. Most of all, thank you for being here today and being such a part of this event that means so much to all of us. Class, let's go take a photo.